There are stories that are written in books, and then there are stories that are written in silence, carried in the hearts, lived in everyday struggles, and expressed through quiet resilience. The story of women belongs to that second category. It is not always told loudly, but it is always deeply felt. For centuries, women have lived in worlds that tried to measure their worth with rules they never wrote. They were told what they could do, what they could not do, where they could go, and even what they should believe about themselves. Yet, despite all of that, something extraordinary kept rising inside them. A strength that could not be erased by time, tradition, or limitation. Because true strength in a woman has never been loud. It has always been steady. It has never needed permission. It has always found a way. Breaking chains does not always mean breaking metal. Most of the time, the hardest chains are invisible. Chains made of fear of failure, fear of judgment. Chains made of doubt, am I enough? Chains made of silence, when a voice wants to speak but is taught to stay quiet. And chains made of expectation, when society decides a role before a woman even gets the chance to discover her own. And yet, women continue to rise. Think of the woman who wakes before dawn, not because the world asks her to, but because life demands her strength. She carries responsibilities that are often unseen, unspoken, and unappreciated. Yet she moves forward, step by step, as if exhaustion is something she is allowed to feel only after everything else is done. Think of the young girl sitting in a small room with big dreams. She studies not just for grades, but for freedom. Every page she turns is a quiet rebellion against limitation. Every effort she makes is a promise to a future that no longer belongs to fear. Think of the mother who carries the weight of everyone's emotions, yet hides her own. She becomes the foundation for others while silently forgetting her own cracks. And still, she smiles, not because life is easy, but because she chooses to be strength for someone else even when she feels weak. This is not ordinary endurance. This is a kind of strength that transforms pain into purpose. But the world often misunderstands this strength. It sees patience and assumes silence. It sees sacrifice and assumes acceptance. It sees softness and assumes weakness. Yet the truth is completely different. Patience is not surrender, it is control. Silence is not absence, it is observation. And softness is not weakness, it is depth. Women have always been preparing for moments the world never saw coming. Preparing in silence, preparing in struggle, preparing in resilience. And then there comes a moment, quiet but powerful, when something inside begins to change. A realization forms slowly, like light entering a dark room. It does not arrive with noise. It arrives with awareness. I am more than what I was told. I am not limited by what others expect. My voice matters. My existence is not an apology. That is the beginning of breaking chains. And it does not happen through destruction. It happens through awakening, through understanding, through courage that grows slowly but becomes unshakable. Women across the world have already proven this truth. They have stepped into classrooms when they were told education was not for them. They have entered workplaces where their presence was once questioned. They have led families, communities, and nations even when the world doubted their ability to lead anything beyond expectation. And in doing so, they did not just change their lives, they changed history. But behind every visible success, there are invisible battles. Nights filled with uncertainty, days filled with pressure, moments when giving up would have been easier than continuing, times when their voices shook but still spoke, times when they fell apart but still stood up again before anyone noticed. And still, they continued. That still is where real strength lives. not in perfection, but in persistence, not in never breaking, but in rebuilding again and again, not in never feeling fear, but in refusing to be controlled by it. There is a transformation that happens when a woman realizes her worth. She no longer shrinks to fit into spaces that cannot hold her spirit. She no longer apologizes for her dreams being too big. She no longer asks for permission to exist fully. Instead, she begins to take up space. Not aggressively, but confidently. She begins to speak, not loudly, but clearly. She begins to live, not partially, but completely. Because she understands something powerful, she was never meant to live in chains. She was always meant to break them. And when one woman breaks her chains, it does not end with her. It begins with her. It becomes a ripple. Another woman hears it and believes in herself a little more. Another girl sees it and dreams a little bigger. Another voice finds courage it never had before. That is how silent revolutions begin, not with noise, but with realization spreading quietly from one heart to another. So this message is not only about women. It is about awakening. It is about remembering what was always there, even when it was forgotten. It is about returning to strength that was never truly lost, only buried under expectation. To every woman who has ever felt invisible, underestimated, or unheard, your story is not small. Your struggle is not meaningless. Your strength is not hidden. It is simply waiting for the moment you choose to see it clearly. And the moment you do, the chains do not just loosen, they break. Because in the end, history does not remember the chains. It remembers the women who broke them.